Hello, my name is Ayuna Bila binti Kamaruzzaman. We are from Group 3 have chosen two online delivery tools to make a comparison and produce a creative informational video campaign which are Zoom Meeting and Google Classroom. Our group will explain the process of using both of these applications, a comparison, the benefit, common issues, recommendations, and conclusion in general.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nada binti Hafizi and I would like to conclude all of this explanation. Classroom is a free web-based platform that connects your G Suite for Education account to all of your G Suite services such as Google Docs, Gmail, and Calendar. Google Classroom also helps you to establish classes, distribute assignments, communicate, and keep organized while saving time and paper. Teachers may instantly check who has completed or not completed work and provide direct, real-time feedback and grades in Classroom. For each class you teach, Google Classroom allows you to create your unique class. Furthermore, assignments are an excellent approach to gather student work and provide feedback and grades to your students. Meanwhile, Zoom is a cloud-based video conferencing software for video conferencing, audio conferencing, webinars, meeting recordings, and live chat. There are two types of Zoom, which are Zoom Meeting and Zoom Room, which are two services offered by Zoom. A Zoom Meeting is a video conferencing meeting that is hosted on the Zoom platform. You can participate in these sessions by using a webcam or a phone. A Zoom Room, on the other hand, is the real hardware arrangement that allows business to schedule and launch Zoom meetings from the other meeting rooms.
Hello, my name is Siti Omara binti Hassan and today I will explain step by step how to use Google Classroom and Zoom. How to get started with Zoom. First, you need to head to their website and click the sign up button at the top right corner of the screen. Second, you need to create an account whether using by your email address or your Google or Facebook address. The third one is the Zoom will send you an email with confirmation link and you need to click on that link. And the last one is you need to download the Zoom apps for easy access. Next, we move to how to starting a Zoom meeting. First, you need to log into your Zoom account and you need to hover your cursor over the host meeting at the corner of screen and select following option. The first with video on, the second with video off, and the third one is share screen. The third step is the website will direct you to the Zoom apps and start a meeting, and you can share the invitation link to anyone. First, you need to go to the Google Classroom website, which is classroom.google.com. And you can click on the plus button in the top right to create your first class. Next, you can add information about your class. For instance, you can use the section field to distinguish the class of the same types. And once your class is created, students can join it by using special invited link. And the last one is you can customize your Google Classroom by click on the theme.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Zatina Jihab Zakaria and today I would like to talk about comparison between Google Classroom and also Zoom Cloud Meeting. For comparison of Google Classroom and Zoom, there will be several parts that will be explained and discussed, such as the usability, the pricing, the accessibility, the time limit, and also the limit of number of participants for both of the applications. For the first point of the comparison between both applications, which is the Zoom and also Google Classroom. Google Classroom are usually used by students and lecturers or teachers to share the learning materials. For teachers, they share learning materials on Google Classroom, and the students will retrieve the learning materials from Google Classroom to be used in the learning session. And also, Google Classroom allows students to submit their tests, their assignments, and also their tasks. When the students submit their tests on Google Classroom, the teacher or lecturer can evaluate their tasks and assignments from there. As for Zoom, Zoom is a platform that is being used not only by students and lecturers, but also by organizations or companies to do online meeting, such as classes or discussions. Moving on to the next point of comparison between Zoom and also Google Classroom. Google Classroom can hold members up to 1,000 people, including students and teachers, and one classroom can allow up to 20 teachers at a time. Both teachers and students can join up to 1,000 classes, and also the teachers that uses Google Workspace or email of school can create limitless number of classes. Okay, for Zoom, there is a limit number of 100 participants at a time, but it can be added up to 1,000 participants at a time if they use the add-on called Large Meeting. However, the add-on that is called Large Meeting need to be paid first before they can use it. The next point is the pricing for both applications, Google Classroom and also Zoom Cloud Meeting. For Google Classroom, it is completely free for students and lecturers. However, for Zoom Cloud Meeting, there will be charges for add-ons such as Large Meeting, and also if the meeting exceeds more than 40 minutes, there will be extra charges applied. The fourth point of comparison between Google Classroom and Zoom is the time limit for both applications. For Google Classroom, there is no time limit to use it. Meanwhile, for Zoom, there is time limit of 40 minutes for each meeting. If the meeting exceeds more than 40 minutes, there will be charges applied for that need to be paid by the host of the meeting. Last but not least is the accessibility of both applications, Google Classroom and Zoom. For Google Classroom, members or users are not allowed to use multiple email accounts to log into the classroom. They need to use a single email account for one classroom. As for Zoom, users are allowed to use multiple email accounts and also devices to enter the meeting that the link is provided by the host.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wanda Syuhada Natasha binti Muhammad Rizal, and I will explain about the benefits of using Zoom and also Google Classroom in the online distance learning. Benefits of using Zoom and Google Classroom to conduct the online distance learning (ODL). In the terms of ODL, Zoom and Google Classroom can be classified as the most medium in conducting the online teaching lesson. This is because The tools that are provided from Zoom and also Google really enhance students and also lecturers to provide the contents that enhance the credibility of online learning. I would explain the benefits of using Zoom and also Google Classroom as mediums and tools for ODL. The benefits of using Zoom and Google Classroom first is an easy connection. This is because Zoom can be one of the parts of a web conferencing, but it is suitable to conduct the online teaching lessons. This is because most lecturers and students prefer using Zoom for the online teaching lessons. As for students, the connection can be connected in multiple devices, so there are no issues in accessing the Zoom application because of the accessibility in diverse technology in which you can connect it in the telephone, in the laptop, and also in the personal computer. Same goes with the Google Classroom, but there are differences between using the Zoom application and Google Classroom, which is when you're using the Google Classroom, you need to be assigned by using Google account, in which you need to have the Google Gmail account. So, in order you to access the Google Classroom, the main important, you need to assign the Google account first before you access the Google Classroom. Second, a multi-device tool. For the Zoom, Zoom serves the screen recording for web conferencing for students and also lecturer, while Google Classroom have the features of storing the file and assign the Google Calendars to submit the tasks or even to complete the assessments. In general, these features help students as a reminder to complete the task and also to handle the assessments as well. Last but not least is a very simple privacy access. We as a students of information management, we need to identify the application that need to be accessed in the right structure, in which I guarantee Zoom and Google products have the credibility in give the best in the aspects of the privacy. The meaning simple of simple privacy can be classified as the easy in maintaining the privacy terms. This is because when you use the Zoom, it also can be assigned using email or Zoom account, or even web assigned using by the names that you insert it. While in the using Google Classroom, the strong privacy access for the Google account lead the Google products to be the top application in access. As students, I agree both applications help me in the journey of the online teaching lesson. But the most common issues that we could not fight with it is the internet connection that we cannot conduct based on our ways.
Next, I will explain about some issues when using Zoom meeting and Google Classroom. But first, let me explain about some issues when using Zoom meeting. So, the first issues that often occurs to user when using Zoom meeting as a online delivery tool is because Zoom meeting is too many subscription and add-ons. So, Zoom is a subscription-based service that is reasonably priced at a starter level. However, one subscription is not enough. Most services require an additional subscription for add-on that has multiple tiers based on the number of attendees or users that you plan for. So, while many of the starter plans are fairly priced, but the larger plans are questionable to the user. The second issue when using Zoom meeting is lack of command control. So, as we all know, a big part of any online event is the ability for people to communicate, to interact, to message with each other in a live chat. While Zoom has a lot of customization in this department, but it does lack one very important feature, which is the ability to delete inappropriate comments. I know that not many people have intention to write bad comments. However, in my opinion, I believe that it is such a very good improvement to the Zoom application to provide a control to comment section. So in order, to prevent people to write inappropriate comments to each other. So the third issue when using Zoom meeting is Zoom bombing. It is a new occurrence on the platform that results in unwanted individual creations on a conference call. Typically, this will result in loud or inappropriate behavior by someone not affiliated with anyone on the call with the intention to disrupt or for fun. For example, me and my classmates conduct a meeting in a Zoom meeting for discussions. However, at one point I realized that there is 1 or 2% suddenly enter our conference call. So this will result in distractions, and of course, me and my classmates have lost our concentration to continue our meeting with this distraction. Last issue when using Zoom meeting is you need to download this application, this Zoom meeting for you to use. While this might not sound that bad, but it is actually a really big flaw. Unlike most other conference platforms, Zoom does not work without downloading an app in your browser, which means that you cannot use this Zoom meeting if you not download this app. So this creates a barrier or a problem of entry for user that can cause users some problem, to download this app. Next, I will explain about the issues when using Google Classroom. Although Google Classroom has many advantages, but there are also many issues that are often experienced by users while using it. So the first issue when using Google Classroom is difficult account management. This is because Google Classroom does not allow access from multiple domains. Furthermore, you cannot log in with your personal Gmail to enter it, but you need to be logged in Google Apps for Education. So as a result, if you have already a personal Google ID, it may be frustrating to learner or to user to juggle multiple Google accounts. The second issue when using Google Classroom is limited integration options. Google Classroom has not yet integrated with Google Calendar or any calendar whatsoever, which may cause some problems to users with organizing material and assignment deadlines. The third issue is no automated updates. The activity in Google Classroom feed does not update automatically, so learners will need to refresh regularly in order for them not to miss any important announcements. Lastly, one of the most important issues in using Google Classroom is impersonal. Speaking of blended learning environment or online delivery, Google Classroom has not integrated with Google Hangouts, which create a problem, which is online interaction between teachers and learners is only possible through Google Documents. So effective education requires interactions and building relationship or communication with the learner. So an online discussions are the best way to achieve this in a virtual environment. Unfortunately, there is no way to have a live chat in Google Classroom, at least again, not yet.
Assalamualaikum. I am Shahira Awang and I will talk about the recommendation for Zoom and Google Classroom. Recommendation for Zoom application. Zoom does have an attention tracking feature, which only hosts of the meeting can enable it. When hosts enable this feature, they can see whether or not the other people are paying attention to screen sharing presentation in the meeting. Somehow, this feature is limited for use, so we really recommend that this feature be changed to unlimited since it is very useful for learning and teaching process. Since Zoom application have lack of command control, they need to improve the feature. As a user, we have found that after we left the online meeting and returned back, the old chat in the same meeting have disappeared. So it is good that if the Zoom can hold the comment until the meeting being ended. Some of the application can be used and accessed through online without downloading it. Unlike the other conference platform, Zoom does not work without downloading the app in the browser. So the recommendation for this app is they can make it available even without downloading it, whether on the mobile phone or desktop browser. When this happens, they can have many users using their service. Zoom have only support 720p for the current speaker, so we recommend that they need to give access and upgrade their quality video up to 180p, which when they upgrade, they will become on the most chosen meeting application to use. Okay, next we move to recommendation for Google Classroom. First is expand the scheduling features, which this can allow scheduling assignment of works or posting to Google Classroom in general to multiple classrooms without limit. This is because we only can schedule a work from one class. Expanding this feature would be great times ever. As we know, they already notice us when the submission date of assignment is close, but they do not provide the notice for when the date for submission is passed. It will be nice if they keep noticing us until we submit the task or assignment, even the date was already passed. It would be great if we able to record the voice or video message directly into Google Classroom, especially for instructor. This is because it becomes less appropriate for classes that need intensive explicit teaching of concept, since it lack of convenient way to record video. However, both of these learning applications are very great to use, and even it needs several recommendations, it still can work and function well.
In conclusion, Google Classroom and Zoom Meeting has their own advantages and disadvantages that we can reflect and follow. It is significant to identify all the features that being provided from both parties so that we will be able to gain benefits from this application. We have to follow the latest technology, especially on teaching and learning process, where it will lead and assist users to learn effectively and efficiently for the future generations. Thank you.